Since the Sherman Antitrust Act and the Clayton Antitrust Act have dwindled into nothingness, behemoth monopolies have formed. Sure, the gargantuan corporations benefit mightily. You, however, do not. In turn, your slice of the American pie dwindles into nothingness. A decent counterplay is to venture off into a more self-governing lifestyle before these cartels position you into checkmate. Hence, barter. Barter is simply an exchange of goods or services between individuals that is exempt from money exchange. Bartering has been going on for tens of centuries, yet it is not solely a medieval system. Now it is an estimated $13 billion a year market. You've done it your whole life anyway, beginning as a kid swapping toys or school lunch items. The only difference is it can now be done globally as opposed to strictly locally. Like all good transactions, it is a fairly negotiated trade or exchange where each party gets what they want or need. It's all about reciprocity. Money can be tight, but you likely have talents and skills that are just as good as cash. Here are some personal barter examples employed by Zebediah Funkbutter. He has exchanged use of his beach shack for ski lodging. Did an errand for his barber for a haircut. He has exchanged use of his motor scooter for horseback riding and for jet ski use. Good decisions equals good life. Yep. Barter is alive and kicking, all right. Craigslist even has a dedicated section. Plus, there are hundreds more bartering websites, including electronics. That reminds me, how do you milk sheep? Introduce a new iPhone every year. But perhaps the biggest barter benefit is that community connections increase. They tighten, and friendships form. After all, money doesn't make the world go round. People do. And now, the man who knows that the philosophy of individualism is the foundation of a free society, Zebediah Funkbutter! Ah, thanks, gang. Thanks a bunch. Since spring is in the air, so is spring cleaning. Zeb hopped on his scooter and scoured the alleys in his neighborhood. Within 20 minutes, he found a bicycle and gave it to a friend of his. Zeb's kind gesture was rewarded that same day as his buddy thanked him by taking him to a nice seafood restaurant. Barter is by far the most honest exchange. You see, a price in numbers is necessary in order to confiscate wealth via taxation. That is why bartering is heavily frowned upon. Fuck 'em. The morning started out dandy with free bagels and gourmet coffee at a real estate open house. I tried engaging with the befittingly named realtor, Sybil, but she didn't have enough mood swings. The day did, however, improve, as Zebediah bartered fixing a flat tire for an elderly neighbor's bicycle. In return, he was allowed to pick her fruit trees whenever he wanted. Carne de venado? Considering that he had tired of eating his roadkill venison, he strolled through the park seeking a bartering partner, as a large party with several ornate piñatas dominated a large section of the park. The party was a quinceañera where Latin girls are celebrated on their 15th birthday. It is a big deal in Hispanic cultures, as the girl has transitioned into womanhood this day. The gal in the green is Gabriella, the quinceañera. No longer considered a child, this passage has adult-oriented privileges such as wearing high heels, jewelry, and makeup, plus she can now shave her legs, pluck her eyebrows, date young men, and attend adult parties. He gave his final 2 venison steaks to the quinceañera's father, then feasted on cabrito and picadillo, filled tacos, and tamales. Oh, And you're next, Mija. You're next. Zeb tore out a 2-for-1 limitless restaurant coupon from a local magazine. A friend of his works at a fast-paced auto parts wholesaling warehouse in a section of town filled with them. But they only allow a 30-minute break for lunch. Providing his friend with paper menus to pass around the warehouse, Zeb took 10 to-go orders, averaging $11 per order, and collected $110. Never mentioning the 2-for-1 coupon, the bill was a mere $55. So he ate for free while pocketing $40 cash. Whether you deem it brilliant or sinister is up to you. Injun Joe say, brilliant. Here are some gift ideas your open-minded family and friends may enjoy. All hands on deck. The second half is coming up. Established by the North American Vegetarian Society in 1977, October 1st is World Vegetarian Day. Bringing awareness to the health and humanitarian benefits of the vegetarian lifestyle is the Society's purpose for this vegan holiday. Zeb went to a cool hippie commune where its flock would espouse their odd philosophies, do some chanting, and pray for animals. Zeb would prefer to prey on animals, but was able to recognize that listening to these fine folk for an hour to be a fair trade for a free feast. Yikes! Today, Zebediah Funkbutter helped an elderly lady by hanging her Christmas lights along the roof eaves. In addition to $15 cash plus a sandwich and a beer, he was rewarded from the widowed neighbor with her deceased husband's cowboy boots. Zeb regularly helps the elderly, the handicapped, and those down on their luck. Zeb actually befriended a homeless person who went by the handle Beast of Bourbon and gave him a sandwich. Beast said, "Thanks, man. This is close to what I had for dinner last night. Well, it's bread anyway. I guess more just grain. Fermented grain. Distilled fermented grain. All right, I had whiskey for dinner last night. That's what I really want. Tennessee mouthwash." Getting to personally know farmers is beneficial. Zebediah bartered and bonded with a farmer driving 3 towns away to pick up some vital tractor parts. In return, Zeb received a bushel of sweet corn harvested that same day, and carte blanche to graze his fields for any produce he wants for personal consumption. Zeb is also extraordinarily unselfish, always sharing his bounty with his pet squirrel, Stacy. Monday night football season starts today. Zeb's buddy Clay Potter invited him to the yacht club. Injun Joe say, "Nice mullet." A section of the club filled with baboonish Jocko homos basking in the glory of other men playing a kids' game. A good time was had. And beyond the beautiful setting of this private club, his good friend amplifies the evening by signing for it his membership account. Zeb feasts on barramundi sea bass conjointly with 2 glasses of Hess Cabernet and riveting conversation. He never considers it to be taking advantage of others' kindness. He views it as an exchange where both parties gain. If Zeb wasn't an addition in people's lives, he would not be reinvited to so many events. Apparently irreplaceable, his exchange of wit, charm, and being interesting is greater than the replaceable food and drink costs. As you can see, money doesn't make the world go around. People do. Thanks, everybody, and as always, replace fear of the unknown with curiosity.